After having spent a few days here at the farm, I started perceiving this land as a soft feminine landscape, like a shallow wide bowl, where the spring is at the center, and everything starts from there and gives life and movement.
And that waterway will go through to the ocean. It doesn't matter how far that creek is away from the ocean.
There the water is so different. It's running much more freely, and you can sense that something has been interrupted. I came up with this idea that I would like to scan the whole area and map these underground waterways like an X-ray that would reveal these veins underground. Felt like a healing act. I felt I needed to really respect the land and touch it very, very lightly.
Water divining started back in the 16th century. Back in them days they used to execute people because they reckoned they were all witches. Now divining, some people can do it, some can't, and we don't know why, whether it's positive in electricity or negative in electricity. To find a stream, you set the stick up and walk along. When the stick pulls down, it's indicating an underground stream. Once you find it, you go down a little bit further, mark it out again so you know what direction the stream is running in. Normally it goes down the side of a hill to a creek, a river or an ocean.
What is happening here locally on this plot of land extends and expands and in the end connects us to the whole world. Okay, so today was the first day that we started actually cutting through the grass in order to expose the soil and bring to visibility the mapping of these invisible water creeks, creek lines they call them, actually the terminology there, and actually exposing them and making the invisible visible, which is what this project is about. We have, I think it's 19 in total. We have 5.6 something kilometers in total to cut. Today we started with the central point, which for me is the natural stream in the middle of this paddock. And it's like this is the sun and you get all these rays coming out of it.
cleansed from the last living memories of the show that you were wearing. So, deja vu, what you say, deja vu? So that didn't happen. If you get your one, the one you showed me of the waterways in the map, and put it next to it, you'll see what I mean.
But that's what I'm thinking. And
Spirit pathway.
I've started thinking them while walking this land and exploring the whole area. And I came up with that. And then I discovered this. And I thought this is the same.
So, if you see that, see the head there?
Yes.
And you can see it like a person's body with legs walking across the land with arms and walking across the riverway, but the legs go all the way through the riverway. You can see the head and the legs and the arms and the hair and walking through the river.
But this, what we are doing is we are digging, we are cutting the grass with a handheld tractor that cuts through the grass, and we are exposing the soil, and these lines are starting to appear now, which are the underground waterways.
It's that spirit cleansing thing as well, like it's a two-way giving, because now that you've tuned into the land and the land's tuned into you, you're going to help other people tune into it as well. Think of the earth as mother and the underground water as the mother's breast. So when they don't interfere with the underground water, springs will bubble because there's so much plenty. There's water just bubbling out of the springs. But when they take, eventually that titty will dry up. But if you were to dig into a mother's chest to take her milk, she would die. Same thing will happen with the planet.
You know, we tend to look at streams as something that just runs across the surface of the ground. But you can think of them in a different way. They cut into the aquifer. All of these streams depend, if you take too much water out of the aquifer, it will affect these systems, these streams. They'll just simply, that water will drain. They're called groundwater-dependent ecosystems, and they're just almost entirely streams that have cut into an aquifer. And if that aquifer is drained, it will be the streams that will suffer first.
Do an artwork of this kind that basically invites people to come and walk the land, to see maybe what is not visible in the first instance, but it is there. It opens our mind up to understanding more about these issues, about how we are treating our home.
It's usually an old person thing for those old people. But we know that's because all around the world there are if you think of the first
One coordinate is where we're standing right now. The second coordinate is at Ellenbrook, where all these waters end up flowing at and connecting to the ocean. The third coordinate actually points either to Africa or to Antarctica, bringing into Google Maps environment the mapping of these water routes, allowing anyone who wants to walk the lines, even after they are gone, to be able to identify themselves on this land, on this plot of land, and to identify the lines. But when they take, eventually that tea will dry up. But if you were to dig into a mother's chest to take hers milk, she would die. And then Sister Belle did the one round the dam, I know, and it was all embodiment, more or less, of a mother body. It's an old thing. I mean, as women, if anyone messes with their babies, it's the one time it's like, do not cross that line. I might be friendly any other time, but